Joe Mazumdar again from Exploration Insights at PDAC 2016. Now we're going to look at uranium. I mean, not very many people are talking about uranium, and there has been some excitement around some junior companies with uranium. But now we're going to take a look at a producer, Energy Fuels. And we're going to talk to Curtis.
Hi there, Joe. How are you?
All right, sir. Energy Fuels, what is the company doing right now in terms of the uranium market? Maybe you could give us a bit of a backdrop on what's happening with the uranium market first.
Well, sure. So Energy Fuels, we are a producer of uranium that is focused on the United States, and we think that that's a very good place to be, since the United States is the world's largest consumer of uranium and the world's largest producer of nuclear energy. There's a lot of growth happening in the nuclear sector right now, particularly in Asia, China in particular.
Yeah.
So we're very excited about the prospects right now.
And then in terms of your assets, where are you producing?
Sure. So we have two operating production centers in the United States. We just announced a third one that we're in the process of
that was
acquiring.
your press release today?
That was our press release today. This is Mustania Uranium. Mustania is a well-established uranium producer. They're located in South Texas. They were a privately held company. They produced 1 million pounds per year for a couple of years just recently. It's a permitted project, in situ recovery, so it's very low cost.
Right.
This is the next logical step, we believe.
So in terms of what you're doing, you're trying to basically acquire as many assets, but your focus is the States?
Yeah, our focus is the United States, and we're not trying to acquire just any assets. We're trying to acquire the best producing assets in the United States. So just because we believe that there's a lot of demand that is going to be coming into the market for uranium, and so we're trying to position ourselves to be able to supply that demand as prices increase.
And so what would your cost profile be right now in terms of globally? Where would you lower quartile, mid quartile, where would you say you would
Oh, that's
fall?
hard to say. I mean, there's if you have Kazakhstan, you have some other secondary supplies, those are very low. We actually have, I would argue, some of the lowest cost sources of production from our White Mesa mill, which is a conventional mill in southeast Utah. We recycle waste products for the recovery of uranium. But when you talk about in situ recovery in the United States, yeah, I would say it would be in the lowest or the second lowest quartile around the world. Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep.
And you sell uranium at the spot market? Well, how do you organize your pricing?
Well, we sell both on the spot market and on long-term prices. We have some contracts with some nuclear utilities that we sell actually at some higher prices. We are going to average about $58 per pound on our sales in 2015.
And what is the spot?
Spot is about $32 a pound right
Wow.
now. So we get a nice premium to that because we signed those contracts a few years ago. But we also do sell some of our production on the spot market.
Okay, but you've got you talk about that the United States is a big consumer, but your contracts are outside the United States.
We do. We have sold outside the United States. We sold some material to South Korea last year.
Yeah.
But we do tend to focus on the United States.
In terms of consumption.
In terms of consumption, absolutely. We focus on the United States both for our production and our consumption.
So going forward, to wrap it up, what kind of catalyst can we see over the next 6 to 12 months from Energy Fuels?
Well, it's this acquisition of Mustania is just a really good next step for us, simply because it is low-cost production. It's ISR. It's in South Texas.
What would it do to your production profile in terms? Is it a 20%, 10%, 5%? What would it?
Well, Mustania has a production of 1.5 million pounds per year is their operating production level. Our White Mesa mill could produce up to 8 million pounds per year. Our Nichols Ranch facility has a licensed capacity of 2 million pounds per year. So if you combine all three of these production centers, we have the licensed capacity to get to 11.5 million pounds per year, which would make us one of the major producers around the world.
Around the world.
Around
but
the
right
world.
now you are the major in the States.
Well, behind Cameco.
Yeah. I mean in the U.S.
In
though.
the U.S., yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, Cameco has a little bit more production than we do up in Wyoming, but we'll see. Well, they're decreasing production a little bit. We're increasing production. Who knows? One of these days we might be first in the U.S. That's our plan.
Great. Thank you very much, Curtis.
Thank you, Joe.
Okay, Energy Fuels. I mean, this looks like an interesting project if we want leverage to the uranium sector. They're already producing. Most of their assets are permitted. They're acquiring new assets, and they could be a major producer in the States. So geopolitically, they're well located. So this might be worth a site visit to confirm how these assets are actually being run.